In NFL terms, the Packers-Bears rivalry is an ancient one. This is the 171st meeting. Right now, it's the Bears who have the upper hand. They've won 3 of the last 4. But the Packers are hoping to bounce back from a hugely disappointing season last year. It's the NFL kickoff weekend. At Lambeau Field, it's the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new season of the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with my new partner, Tim Ryan, former defensive tackle. And Tim, the excitement of opening day is here. For the Chicago Bears, there's a lot of excitement and high expectations after the year they had last year.
Absolutely, Sam. You come off that 11-5 season, and talking to the head coach, Lovie Smith, last night, he told us exactly that. I mean, he expects this team to take big steps forward here in 2006. I think we all know the heart and soul of this group is their defensive football team. And if you look at these guys, they return 11 starters. They got Pro Bowlers all over the place. They'll be terrific. Now, here's the question. I think if they really want to get to the top of that mountain, they need Rex Grossman, their quarterback, to A, stay healthy, and B, play well. And in talking to him, he's got a tremendous amount of confidence in his ability. He needs reps. He needs experience. And talking to these guys to a man on this football team, Sam, they think that if he does stay healthy, he can get them to the promised land.
Now, for the Green Bay Packers, a lot of close games last season, but 4-12 just doesn't get it done. So there was a change in coaches, and Mike McCarthy takes over. This is his first head coaching job anywhere.
And that's interesting with a storied franchise like the Green Bay Packers right here. But you look at Mike, he's got his work cut out for him. He's got 28 new faces on a 53-man roster. The one constant, the 3-time MVP in Brett Favre. And watching him the other day, he's clearly got a lot of gas left in the tank, but he needs help, and he needs that help from the running game. The big story here in Green Bay, in my opinion, is Ahman Green. Can he regain that explosion, Sam, that he had before incurring that serious leg injury last year? A note to remember, from the year 2000 up till he got the injury last year, numbers-wise, he was the most productive back in pro football.
20th time these two teams are opening up a season. I know somebody who really gets pumped up for opening day. That's Chris Myers. He's down on the field. Chris.
Sam and Tim, you can feel the energy here, and it goes with the great tradition. Lovie Smith said no special speech needed for a matchup like this on opening Sunday, but he did show his team a specially edited video of the history of this great rivalry, the most recent history. Even Brett Favre admits, dominated by the Bears. He hopes to turn that around starting today. Muhsin Muhammad, so excited to get this thing going. He said he would line up on a highway in Kenosha, the halfway point between Chicago and Green Bay, just to get to play in the Bears-Packers rivalry. That's not needed, but the stage is set, Sam and Tim, on one of the great fields in all of sports.
And we had the flyby a little while ago, the FA-18 Jets. And, if they want to play on the highway, in Kenosha, Tim and I have good seats on the overpass, so we're ready to watch it there.
Got a real good vantage point. Sam, the rivalry is terrific.
Yeah.
Opening weekend is always fun, but if you can get to a place like this, it's second to none. Best rivalry in pro football.
Dave Rayner kicks off. You see the faces, the intent. And now Rayner lets it fly, and Rasheed Davis for the Bears from the 3. Runs into a crowd, gets tripped up, goes down at the 23. There's a flag on the play. He wasn't tackled. He actually was tripped up by his own man. Another flag comes in as Davis goes out at the 35. So there are 2 flags that we'll have to check out on the return. Tony Corrente, in his 12th year, is our referee. Chicago Bears have a good return game, both kickoff and punts. They've got a lot of speed. Rex Grossman getting set to come out on the field. And we welcome those of you.
There are fouls against both teams on this play. Holding, receiving team number 21. Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense, or receiving, kicking team number 22. By rule, these penalties will offset at the spot of the hole. Chicago's ball, first down.
All right, Dante Wesley committed the foul for the Bears. Marquand Manuel committed it for Green Bay. Bears head coach Lovie Smith looking on. We welcome those of you who are watching Atlanta, Carolina. How about Atlanta winning 20-6 in Carolina?
Yeah, that's a big win. Carolina didn't start well last year. No Steve Smith today. Good win for the Falcons.
Bears start from the 22 with Thomas Jones, the running back. Grossman to put it up. Outside of the fullback, Jason McKee. Runs hard, gets up across the 30, out of bounds right at the first down marker at the 32-yard line. The Bears on offense, we mentioned Rex Grossman. The offensive line back intact. That is solid. Good run blocking, good pass protectors. The wide receivers, that'll be a question mark for the Bears. Desmond Clark, good tight end. Muhsin Muhammad, the #1 receiver. Bernard Berrien's been nicked up a little bit. Rasheed Davis is out on the field in place of Berrien. It's Thomas Jones looking for an opening. It was a first down, and he picks up 2 up to the 34-yard line. Packers on defense. They've got the strong pass rushers on the outside in Gbaja-Biamila and Campman. They've got good rotation on the defensive line interior. Linebackers, A.J. Hawk, outstanding first-round pick. Nick Barnett is the leading tackler. Grady Papinga coming back from a knee injury. Nick Collins, big playmaker. Charles Woodson, big free agent signing. They need him to be good. Thomas Jones, 2-yard pickup. Thomas Jones, who rushed for over 1,300 yards last year. Only Walter Payton has done likewise for the Bears. He's a key, but Cedric Benson is pushing Thomas Jones for playing time
Absolutely.
this year.
Well, Cedric was that 4th pick of the draft a couple of years ago, and there he is there. These guys have battled all preseason long. Both of them have had injuries, and watch Thomas all day today. And both of these guys, they both run mad, Sam.
5 defensive backs in for the Packers. They've changed defensive tackles on 3rd and 6. Grossman, pass was tipped, but it goes through and is caught by Muhsin Muhammad for a first down, but there's a flag on the play. Further downfield, we'll check that out. There was some pressure on Grossman. I thought the pass might have been tipped a little bit, but he got it through to Muhsin Muhammad, and that will be the big connection for the Bears.
And we're going to see Muhsin Muhammad and Al Harris battle all day out there. That'll be a physical
Pass
matchup.
interference, defense number 31. This penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
How about that matchup, Muhammad and Harris?
And I think you'll see most of it. These are the 2 most physical players. Here's Al Harris, here's Muhsin Muhammad, and then watch these guys just battle each other physically, and then Muhsin's up coming with the football.
There's Al Harris. Thomas Jones on first down gets about a yard. Good work inside. Kabir Gbaja-Biamila making the stop. You see number 90, Colin Cole, starting at tackle, 2nd-year man involved. It's Thomas Jones' helmet. Can't leave that on the ground.
And here, we saw Rex Grossman come out and throw early. I think that first play get him a little confidence. But this is the bread and butter of the Chicago Bears, that big group up front. It really is. I mean, you talk about their numbers running the football last year. They were terrific. What they want to do, Sam, is they just want to out-physical these guys up front for the Packers.
Bernard Berrien in at wide receiver with Muhsin Muhammad. On 2nd and 8, Grossman, deep drop. Puts it up, way downfield, he's got Bernard Berrien, touchdown! There's the speed of Bernard Berrien, protection by the offensive line, and Grossman just laid it right in there, 49-yard touchdown.
And Marquand Manuel had no chance. He was the one on coverage there. He's the one that got smoked by Bernard Berrien. And that's such a big play for them. I mean, get Grossman's confidence going and find out who your number 2 receiver is, who your playmaker is, Sam. That's the story of this team now. Can they find someone other than Muhsin Muhammad and Thomas Jones to make plays? They may have found their guy in Bernard Berrien.
You talked about Grossman staying healthy. Berrien's another guy. He's got the speed to get down the field. We can see that. Robbie Gould for the extra point. Bears, first possession, 78 yards in 6 plays. Finished off 49-yard touchdown pass. Berrien beats Marquand Manuel, and the Bears take the lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field, where the Bears have gotten on the board first.
Watch Marquand Manuel right here. Gets his eyes in the backfield is exactly what happens. Seam route by Bernard Berrien, and then Grossman. Watch that football right over the top. There's the accuracy that they talk about with Rex Grossman. Marquand Manuel, Sam, just got caught looking in the backfield, and that's what a great running team does to you. Play action will kill you every time.
Robbie Gould kicking off. And Sam Congatto on the return. And hit hard. Big hit by Jamar Williams, the rookie linebacker out of Arizona State. Taking down Sam Congatto at the 17-yard line.
You want to play pro football? Pow.
No thanks. I like it up here. Packers start from the 17. Bart with Brett Favre starting his 15th season as a Green Bay Packer. 14th consecutive opening day start for Brett Favre. Ahman Green comes hard into Lance Briggs at the 20-yard line, picks up 3 on the play. Check out the Packers on offense. The offensive line, the guards, we'll be looking at them. They are rookies, Jason Spitz and Tony Ball. The veterans, Tauscher and Clifton, very key on the outside. The wide receiver, Donald Driver. The rookie, Greg Jennings out of Western Michigan, getting the start. On 2nd and 7. With 2 tight ends in. It's Ahman Green with a nice little cutback. And up to the 26-yard line. He'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Mike Brown made the tackle for the Bears. See the Bears on defense. Gave up the fewest points in the NFL last season. Alex Brown's playing with a shoulder harness. He was injured in preseason. Tackles are tough. Tommy Harris great. The linebackers, the best in the business. Urlacher in the middle. Lance Briggs, both Pro Bowlers, and the underrated Hunter Hillenmeyer. Nathan Thatcher and Charles Tillman, the cornerbacks. The defense rises up and stops Ahman Green. Lance Briggs leading the charge, and Ahman Green comes up a yard short of the first down.
Big play defensively. A couple of good runs there by Ahman Green in this new zone scheme, and we'll talk about it all day. But the one way defensively to defeat a zone scheme is to get penetration into the backfield, and as a defensive line, Sam, create a new line of scrimmage. That's exactly what happened there as they got a nice tackle for loss.
The speedy rookie Devin Hester is deep. This is John Ryan out of the Canadian Football League. His first NFL punt, a bouncer taken by Hester, and he's dragged down. Ahmad Carroll with a big play. Takes down Hester at the 27-yard line. There's a flag on the play. Bears offense needs to be better this season. Last season, with Rex Grossman on the sideline for most of the year, the 4th-round draft pick rookie Kyle Orton led the team. They did not pass the ball very well, didn't convert on 3rd down. The best thing they had was short fields because of the defense.
Well, and that's why they were an early out in the playoffs, too. Big plays is something they need. They've already got one today.
Jones in motion, the fullback straight ahead, McKee. And he will be an important man, Jason McKee, 5th-year man out of Temple. Brian Johnson went on injured reserve in the preseason. The rookie J.D. Runnels is inactive today.
Yeah, this is their only fullback active today. And Jason McKee played a little bit last year, cut his teeth a little bit. They like him. He's not an overpowering guy, but can run and certainly screen off defenders.
Varian and Muhammad go to the right side. Fake draw, good protection for Grossman. His pass, diving catch by Muhsin Muhammad at the Packers' 40-yard line. 27-yard pickup.
Now there's another big play, and look at the accuracy on this ball, and then the catch for Muhsin Muhammad to lay out right there and get it. You can clearly tell in talking to him last night, he's dropped 10 to 15 pounds from last year. He looks faster, and I'm a believer, Sam, the older you get in this league, the more you drop weight and lean down and get your body in the best shape it can be in.
And he and Rex Grossman seem to be on the same page as far as the offense goes. Thomas Jones. Short pickup, good play by Nick Collins, the free safety. Pickup of 2 on the play.
Sam, if you think about Muhsin Muhammad and those 16 TDs he had a couple of years ago in Carolina before he came over to Chicago, he had a great rapport with Jake Delhomme, the quarterback down there, where they could not even have to talk to each other. They could look at each other and kind of get their facial expressions and know what the other guy is thinking. He said he's developed that same thing through the offseason and camp with his quarterback, Rex Grossman.
Grossman starts the game 4 for 4 for 99 yards. Short drop, 5 for 5 as he hits the tight end, Desmond Clark. they'd like Desmond Clark to be more a factor in the offense this season.
Well, he needs to be. He needs to be. In the era of this flexed out tight end, he needs to have good numbers. Watch the cut block here by McKee. Mike Montgomery trying to get an outside rush, and that's what you do. A 3-step drop, you throw it out to that little smoke screen or hitch route. You want to get that frontside D-end off his feet. Nice work by the fullback, McKee, chopping down Montgomery.
Cullen Jenkins, Corey Williams in for the Packers at defensive tackle. The Bears 3rd and 3. Variant motions. Quick slant to Mohsin Muhammad. First down inside the 25-yard line. Lovie Smith in his 3rd year as head coach of the Bears.
Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers.
Great start.
We want to get a little confidence going.
How about Lovie Smith is now the senior coach in the NFC North division.
Wild? Isn't that wild? You know, 9 of, I think, the 16 opponents they'll face this year have all first-year head coaches.
First
3
down,
of them right here
Bears.
in this division in the North.
Desmond Clark, the tight end, motions. Grossman being rushed. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Good rush for the middle linebacker, Nick Barnett.
This is a good job by Barnett to get right by Olin Kreutz. And you watch him here, and he's going to get up here and just go right off 57. Olin Kreutz, the center. That's good work. Barnett's a guy that has gotten better. I mean, they expect him to have a big year in the middle of that defense as their Mike linebacker this year. He's gotten better, Sam, every year.
2 tight ends in for the Bears. It's Thomas Jones straight ahead for about 5 down to the 19-yard line. Bears controlling the ball very well early.
There's no secret to what Chicago does, Sam. Teams know they're going to do it. They show it all on film. There's no trickeration. We're going to line up. We're going to get a man on a man. We're going to pound you. And we're going to physically whip you at the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you, if you look at these guys to a man, they are, I think, as strong physically as any football team in the game.
3 wide receivers in for the Bears. Rasheed Davis motions on 3rd and 5. Grossman gets time. Nice catch by Davis. First down at the 11-yard line. First NFL reception by Rasheed Davis, who was a defensive back last season and came out of the Arena Football League.
I don't even think he got into wide receiver until the month of June. And you watch him here, and he's just going to cross right here, and he's going to get up man coverage on Charles Woodson. And Woodson can't stay with him. How about that? You got a guy that's been to a bunch of Pro Bowls in Woodson, Rasheed Davis, coming out of the Arena League and creating a nice little gap on that pivot route on Woodson for a first down.
It's 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Jones behind McKee. Great job by the Packers. Marquand Manuel, the free agent pickup from Seattle, where he started 11 games last season, with a good tackle. And Nick Barnett kind of forced that play.
He is the one that forced it, and that's what I told you about Nick Barnett, is that they expect him to play better this year. Watch him run the alley and get up through the offensive line. Right there, that little crease to widen out Thomas Jones, which allows the pursuit of the defensive backs and the safety Marquand Manuel to come up and get a tackle for loss.
10th play of the drive for the Bears, who had the fewest 10-play drives in the NFL last season. 3 wide receivers in. Grossman with time. Now rushed, he throws, and he threw it up for grabs. It's intercepted by Nick Barnett.
Looks like Grossman's down too. He's getting up now slow. That's a bad decision. That is the youth of Rex Grossman. That's 7 starts in pro football. And I'll tell you, if Thomas Jones will stay with Aaron Campman a little longer, right there almost just gives him a one-timer. And you could tell Campman was the guy that put the pressure. Grossman put it up for grabs. Big pick by Nick Barnett.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. By Gridiron Gang in theaters September 15th, rated PG-13. By State Farm, great service and great rates. You can get it all from State Farm. And by Chevrolet, America's brand, Chevy, an American revolution.
Sam, they'll tell you, pressure busts pipes, but it also forces turnovers in pro football. And Campman with the good pressure and just forced Rex into a bad decision, throwing it up to triple coverage.
Second possession of the game for the Packers. They start from the 20. Bubba Franks motions, then sets, and the fake draw. Favre's first pass, and completes to Donald Driver up at the 37-yard line. 65 consecutive games Donald Driver has caught a pass.
He just went out and sat in the zone. I think you're going to see more of this out of Brett Favre. You see how they're moving the pocket? Got the defensive end sucked down inside, get Brett out on the outside. He just located his guy, his go-to guy, clearly Donald Driver, sitting down in the hole in the zone.
Two tight ends in. Amon Green straight ahead, gets a couple of yards. Lance Briggs and Todd Johnson combine. Todd Johnson in, replacing Chris Harris.
Have you ever seen Amon Green physically look better? I mean, the test, we won't know until he passes the test after the game today and the explosion and if he's got it back. But physically, this guy to me, and they'll tell you, he's in the best shape of his life. Look at those numbers, Sam. 2,000 up to the injury.
He was as good as there was that year. He had nearly 1,900 yards rushing. Jamal Lewis beat him out with 2006. Green, that little cutback. He makes that one quick cutback, and he gets up to the 44-yard line. Wally Agunlea made the tackle for the Bears.
And Mike McCarthy has installed this zone offense, this running game that has made Denver so successful. You get all the O-linemen coming out on a track, and then it's one cut by the running back. Pow! Right there. They don't want any dancing in the backfield. One cut, get downhill, Sam. They'll tell the running backs, think 4, get 40.
Three wide receivers for the Packers. Robert Ferguson is in on 3rd and 2. Bears showing blitz. Here they come. And Favre went down. I think somebody stepped on his foot. As he was pulling back from the center, he just fell back.
We saw this in the preseason as well. Looks like Jason Spitz, the left guard, just steps on his foot. Yep, right there. Brett goes down. Watch him try to throw the ball, have an incomplete pass. Oh. Then he thought twice about it.
Right.
He almost pulled the trigger on that, didn't he?
He wanted to, and something said, not now. Second punt of the game for John Ryan. And they stop the play. Flags go down. False start on the Packers.
False start. Offense, number 28. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's on the gunner, the outside man, Ahmad Carroll.
Well, he got down there so fast the last time, he figured, I'm going to do it again.
And those are the only ones, the outside men, who can leave the line of scrimmage before the ball is kicked. Line drive. Devin Hester takes it at the 22. And good coverage, flag on the play. Good coverage by the Packers. 3-yard return after a 43-yard punt.
So far, so good in terms of the coverage, but he's going to have to, John Ryan, that punter's going to have to figure out some hang time somewhere. You can't continue to drive those down with a 3-second hang time and expect your coverage guys to get down there.
Tony Correnti looking things over as John Ryan talks to the special teams coordinator, Mike Stock.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 29. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's on Adrian Peterson of the Chicago Bears. Oh, they're all here. The Packer fans and a Lombardi look-alike.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. At this time last year, Rex Grossman was in his basement watching the Bears opener on his big screen TV. Said he wanted to learn to be more aware of where everybody is on the field, and after the first 2 series, it's been quite a stretch, one ending in a touchdown, one in an interception. Sam?
Thank you, Chris. Grossman throwing on 1st down to the tight end Desmond Clark. And Clark up across the 25. Pickup of about 9 on the play. Bears offense has been good thus far.
Well, they've been balanced. I think that's what they want to show, is not just be that predominantly run offensive football team. Desmond Clark has got to be a big part of this offense. Lovie Smith told us that last night. I mean, the guy has proven early in his career in Denver he can be a 50, 60 catch a year guy. He's trimmed some weight down, and they're really looking forward to him making his mark on offense this year.
2nd and 1 for the Bears. Thomas Jones, not much there. He bounces off and fights his way close to the 1st down line. Good effort by Thomas Jones. See the spot. And they'll have to measure on this one.
That's good work by KGB, Kabir Baha Biamila, the right defensive end, coming on an inside gap charge from his right defensive end spot, just stacking that baby up.
There's always some question about whether he can hold up against the run.
There was no question on that play.
No, he's done
He
a good
stuffed
job.
John Tate right into the hole. Thomas Jones had nowhere to go.
Well known for his pass rushing, and the nose of the football touches the end of the chain. First down for the Bears.
It's all second effort by Thomas Jones there in the backfield.
Bears have run 18 plays thus far in the first quarter. The Packers only 7. See the numbers.
And that was
For
playing
Thomas
hurt,
Jones.
Sam. I mean, he played
Yeah.
hurt a lot last year.
Grossman is 8 for 10. On first down, Grossman puts it up, and it's complete to Desmond Clark. They're involving the tight end. Nick Collins made the tackle down at the 41-yard line of the Packers. A pickup of 33 on the play.
Watch this little pass rush move he puts on Brady Papinga. Here's Desmond Clark. Here's Papinga. Watch the little arm over. Whoop! Right by him. Creates a little separation. Papinga can't run with him. And then Grossman dropping it right where it needs to be. That's a well-executed play from top to bottom.
Good mix. Good mix of
Oh, he's
plays.
spreading it around.
Great start to the game for Grossman. John Gilmore is in at tight end. Desmond Clark has 3 catches. 1 interception by Grossman. Negated an outstanding drive. Here's Jones getting outside. Nice run close to the first down marker. They'll spot him out of bounds a couple of yards short at the 34-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Grossman knows that all eyes will be on him. This is the final year of his first NFL contract.
Well, Sam,
And they brought in Brian
That's
Griese.
right, and paid him a lot of money. And I think kudos to Jerry Angelo, his general manager, for doing that. And he's been a big help to Rex Grossman. Rex will tell you that. Griese has helped him out a lot in the film room.
Here's the insurance policy. Gilmore, the tight end, shifts. Jones carries. Nice cutback. Big gainer. Thomas Jones inside the 20 down to the 17. Marquand Manuel the tackle. 17-yard gain for Thomas Jones.
This is what Thomas Jones has, is unbelievable vision. And we just talked about Kabir Baha Bielemilia, KGB, squeezing down inside. They caught him on a stunt there. Jones saw it, bounced it outside, and got himself a nice long run.
Bears offense has been strong. They lead the Packers 7-0 end of the first quarter. Second quarter underway with the Bears 1st and 10 at the Packers 17. Thomas Jones behind McKee took a hit from Brady Papinga down at the 16-yard line. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers at Lambeau Field. Glad you're with us. NFL kickoff weekend. Thomas Jones has looked good.
Well, what makes him good and why he got 1,300 is his vision. A couple of things. Baja Bielemilia gets caught inside here. Terrific block by McKee, but look at the vision. That play was supposed to go up inside. Thomas Jones saw the end crashing down, went off of his fullback's rear, and got himself a nice long run.
On second down, Grossman is sacked. Aaron Campman from his left defensive end position getting in on Grossman for a big defensive play by the Packers.
Sam, we saw on the interception, it was Thomas Jones that missed the block out here on Campman. Same thing here. Whip, he slips, goes down. Campman runs the corner, plays the upfield edge, and gets Rex Grossman down to the ground for a nice sack. That's a big play by the defensive end.
Loss of 6. Bears have to get to the 8-yard line for a first down. 3 wide receivers in. Rashid Davis on the field for the Bears. Bears 3 for 3 on third down conversions in the game. Grossman stepping up, nobody open. Buys time and throws it away. And a good 2 plays defensively by the Packers. The sack and good coverage.
Nice little pressure there by Cullen Jenkins, and then a smart play really by Grossman to get out of the pocket, buy himself a little time, and throw it away. Don't take the sack, don't get a grounding, don't throw into a mistake. So for the mistake that he made last time down here in the red zone, nice job just throwing it away and giving his special teams, his kicker, an opportunity, Sam, to put 3 on the board.
Robbie Gould got better as last season went along. He'll try a 40-yarder The holder is Brad Maynard. Patrick Manley, the long snapper. And the kick is through. And the Bears, 3 offensive possessions. They've scored on 2 of them. 1 interception. But they have a 10-0 lead on the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Campman had a good defensive play for the Pack.
Following in the great tradition of Lombardi and even Mike Holmgren, Mike McCarthy has pointed out, first head coaching job anywhere, but for him, he feels comfortable. He was an assistant back in '99 with Brett Favre and told me that that was one of the key reasons in him coming here. And the return of Brett Favre, the comfort level for both. McCarthy will call the plays, Brett and him working on the same page. Neither were nervous before today. McCarthy said Brett helped keep him calm.
Sam Congato on the return from the 4. Finds the wedge, and the Bears find him at the 21-yard line. Packers trying to get the offense going. This is their 3rd possession. They trail by 10.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Wendy's new Frescata Italiana sandwich. Do Wendy's, do what tastes right. By Radio Shack. By FedEx for all your shipping needs. And by Chevrolet, America's brand. Chevy, an American revolution.
NFL kickoff weekend. These 2 teams have opened the season 20 times, 19 times at Lambeau. And that's a program from 1945 at Wrigley Field. Packers come out 2 tight ends. They start from the 22-yard line. They run only 7 offensive plays. Favre's had only 1 pass. Here's number 2. And he connects with Donald Lee, the tight end. Gets up and gets a few extra yards up to the 47-yard line.
I think they caught him guessing a little bit here. Hunter Hillenmeyer, the outside linebacker, thinking run all the way.
Hurry up offense for the Packers.
Donald Lee just ran right past him.
Picked up 26 on the last play. Ahman Green finds the hole, shows some power to the 46. Chris Rose is our update man. Chris, what's going on around the league?
Well, Sam, you can tell Thomas Jones that his brother Julius Jones has scored the first touchdown of the season for the Cowboys. Also of note, T.O. caught 2 passes on that opening drive, so that should keep him happy at least until the 2nd quarter. Cowboys up 10-0 in Jacksonville. Back to Sam and Tim.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Myers will go over and tell Thomas Jones about Julius's touchdown. We'll send him on that. Driver in motion. On 2nd and 3, Ahman Green, little cutback inside the 45. Bring up a 3rd and short. All right, Chris, you going to go tell Thomas Jones?
Yeah, well, Sam, I don't want to interrupt you. There's a game going on. But the Jones family, Betty Jones, they're 2 of 7 brothers, and Thomas, the father, they don't just watch their sons on TV. They make it a point to split up the parents and attend each of the games when they play, not only in different cities, but at different times. Today, they're playing at the same time, of course, and also the sisters in the family are divided up so that each son, Thomas and Julius, get equal support.
3rd and a yard and a half. Thanks, Chris. Green behind Vontae Leach, the fullback, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. And he does.
Vontae Leach and Urlacher had a wicked collision right there in front of Ahman Green.
Tim, what about this offensive line for the Packers? It's the first time that they have started 2 rookies back to the days when Tauscher and Clifton were rookies, and that wasn't even at the start of the season. They came in mid-season. But here you've got Jason Spitz, a 3rd-round pick, Tony Mall, a 5th-round pick.
Yep.
Boy, that's really tough for a team with Brett Favre at quarterback and Ahman Green trying to run.
Yeah, it is, but I think they're better than they were than if they would have had the other guys, and Adrian Clem and a couple of the other guys that have incurred injury. I've got it short here. That's not a real good spot.
I've got to take it back. I thought he had enough for the first down. My apologies.
But there's the guys right there, and you know Scott Wells at center. He hasn't played a lot of football either now. I think this is probably his 5th start in the last couple of years at center. So that whole group really on the interior is new. But they're running that zone scheme, which I think mentally is pretty easy for those guys to digest. And I think, as always, when you talk about a young offensive line and a new group trying to gel, you're going to be a lot better early in the season, Sam, in the run part of the game rather than pass protection protection stuff.
So here's a 4th and inches for the Packers. David Barton motions, and Brett Favre falls forward. The Bears say no, the Packers say yes. And then let's see what the officials say. This will be a very important spot.
And bring a measurement out again for this. Right behind the 3 interior guys, the young guys, those 2 rookie guards. Red tried to just give that pat right on the center of Scott Wells and try to get it up in that A gap, Sam, which is right between the guard and the center.
And Mike McCarthy can't believe the spot. He's shaking his head. And he's concerned about the spot. I thought he got a bad spot on 3rd down. And now, right now, he needed about an inch.
They need this.
And
nope.
Bears held. How about that? Lovie Smith loves it. Quarterback sneak, and
oh, that's another bad spot.
They don't give it to him. Favre, looking for a couple of inches, came up short. Baseball returns on Fox next Saturday as you check out the race toward the playoffs. Yankees and Red Sox meet up in New York. Some of you will see the White Sox and the A's 1 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox. Off the play fake, Grossman wanted to go deep, nobody open. He throws and he finds Muhsin Muhammad at the 40-yard line. Good job by Grossman.
Boy, that's great work, because Al Harris was in good job in his coverage over there. Rex wanted Muhsin Muhammad right away. Watch Al Harris, he's going to stay with him. He's just running with him. Look at his hands, he's going to be physical. Now watch Moose. Now that the play breaks down, Rex starts to improvise. There's a general rule of thumb. When that quarterback scrambles and you get into that scramble drill, if you're deep, come shallow. If you're shallow, go deep. That time Moose came back to the football and Grossman found it.
4th catch of the game for Muhsin Muhammad. He caught 64 last season. He was disappointed with that number. Straight ahead goes Thomas Jones for a couple of yards on 1st down. Grossman, with an outstanding start to the game, has been tremendously accurate. Made the one bad decision when he threw a pass up for grabs deep in Packers territory that was intercepted in the end zone.
Sam, he's got all the skill level you need to be a top-flight quarterback, I think, in the National Football League. Heck, he just had buzzard's luck for his first 3 years in pro football with the injuries.
10 for 13, 180 yards thus far in the game. 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, Grossman, some pressure. Looks like Bajabi Amila was being held as a flag downfield. The pass intended for Desmond Clark, incomplete. Bajabi Amila complaining to referee Tony Correnti that he was being held, and I kind of agree with him.
Well, they hold every play, Sam. Just get away with it most of the time.
They held you all the time also,
always.
huh?
They just get it. Doesn't matter. You can tape that jersey. It can be skin tight. Take 4 guys to put that bad boy on.
Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
In the locker room, they're going to be skin tight. They still find a way to grab a hold of it.
And they called Charles Woodson down the field for a hold, giving the Bears a 1st down at the Packers 33.
Well, once again, this play breaks down. Grossman gets out of the pocket a little bit, and there's no doubt. See, everything's just breaking down. Grossman is able to buy time, and really what it's forcing that secondary to do, Sam, is cover twice. I mean, it's hard enough to cover once in the league, let alone do it twice when the quarterback's improvised.
2 tight ends for the Bears. Jones goes straight ahead. Nick Barnett takes him down at the 28-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play.
I don't know what the play contrast is right now at this point, but it's heavily in favor of the Chicago Bears. That defense already here with 9 to go in the 2nd quarter for Green Bay has got to be gassed. 27 plays for the Chicago Bears to 12 offensively for the Green Bay Packers.
And Lovie Smith has to be liking the fact that the Bears are getting long drives. They had a 10-play drive, a 9-play drive, and on the move once again here. On 2nd down, Grossman being pressured by Campman, got it to Jason McKee, the fullback, out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And Grossman made something happen on the play.
Well, he was smart in looking downfield. I don't think McKee was his primary receiver. Sam looking downfield, didn't find anybody open, had pressure in his face, and saw his little dump off. You know, those dump offs are always good when the quarterback is on time with his reads, and that time Rex was. Saw his guys weren't open downfield. Knew his fullback was there with an outlet and got it to him to set up a 3rd and short.
McKee's done a good job blocking.
Yeah, he has.
And he's been involved in the offense as well. Catching the ball. Here's Jones on 3rd and 1. Ran into a wall right at the 1st down line. And we'll check out the spot. It's close. Looks like he may be a little bit short.
Get another measurement. Corrente. That's a nice work by Green Bay up front. And Ryan Pickett, who they got over from St. Louis as a free agent, very active. Number 79 there on the defensive line for St. Louis came over here, and that was nice work there, knifing through to get Thomas Jones as he approached the line of scrimmage.
Ryan Pickett, former 1st-round pick of the Rams, about 6 inches short. 4th and inches. Let's see what Lovie Smith elects to do. He keeps the offense on the field.
Pound it. He's got this defense tired and on their heels right now, and I think physically thinking he's got the advantage up front. Why not?
"28 plays for the Bears and 12 for the Packers." Wow.
Holy cow.
The Bears with a 10-0 lead, and the Packer faithful are on their feet. And timeout is called by the Packers. May not have had the personnel they wanted on the field.
Sam, as you look, that's Bob Sanders, the defensive coordinator,
Right.
first-year defensive coordinator up here in Green Bay. Was here last year under Jim Bates, giving his guys a rallying cry now. Been inconsistent defensively. They played well at times today, and at other times have just lost their way. They've been on the field so darn long here in the first half.
Grossman tries to go over the top. Now where will the spot be?
Yeah, they got it.
And it looks like the forward progress will give the Bears a 1st down. And you're talking about Bob Sanders, who knows Rex Grossman. They were both
That's right.
in Florida.
That's right.
At the same time.
As a matter of fact, Bob was the defensive line coach down there, and Rex was running scout team against the offense. Watch Colin Jenkins in here try to knife through defensive lineman. Almost had a little fumble there. That's all second effort by Rex Grossman. That's just country tough right there. They had him stopped. He worked and found the 1st down.
Short drop. Nobody open, and he throws it away. Flag on the play. And the Packers are upset. Marquand
that flag
Manuel
was
waving
late.
his arms.
That
He's
flag
upset.
was really late. Brady Papinga out there on Desmond Clark. They had already separated for a second or two when that official from the backside threw the flag.
Papinga's done a good job coming back from a knee injury.
Yeah, they got high hopes for this guy.
There is no foul for illegal contact as the quarterback had rolled outside the pocket. 2nd down.
Good job by Tony Corrente.
That's a good job by Papinga being aware and knowing when the quarterback gets out of the pocket that you can have some material contact on that receiver. I think see how late that flag came in? Awfully late. How about modern medicine with this guy coming back? An ACL injury for Papinga in December, and he's out here starting the opener.
On 2nd down, 2 tight ends in. Jones spins down to the 20-yard line. Ran into Ryan Pickett. Pickett, another important free agent signing by the Packers. An Ohio State man who started his career with the Rams.
He's active now. He had 115 tackles as a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman in St. Louis last year. That's impressive. They feel with him, guys like A.J. Hawk, their 1st-round pick, Charles Woodson, there's Hawk there. There's no question this defense got faster, Sam, in the offseason.
3 wide receivers in, 5 DBs for the Pack.
Look at that.
Draw play to Jones. He spun away from one man, that was Campman, but Cullen Jenkins was there to take him down for a loss of a yard, maybe a loss of 2 on the play. Good job by the Packers up front. Jenkins has done a nice job.
Well, that's Cullen Jenkins, who's the younger brother of Chris Jenkins, and watch him right here at the right defensive tackle spot. Just play with instinct here. I mean, he sees that the whole way. He's got his nose up. Just comes off the block, saw it, and then got himself. That's a big stop for this Packer defense.
39-yard field goal attempt for Robbie Gould. And this one is inside the post, and Gould is 2 for 2. Packers defense stiffened, but the Bears, once again controlling the football, come up with 3 points and lead 13-0.
Pretty good relationship and chemistry with these two guys already in this game. And you can tell, I mean, talking to a man last night, they expect this team to win 13 games and get to Miami. And I think it's because of number 8. They know they got a great defense. That's been proven. They've got a very, very solid running game. The missing ingredient has been the passing game. And I know they're super stoked, Sam, to have Rex Grossman back healthy.
You're right. Robbie Gould kicking off. Here is Noah Herron's first NFL kickoff return. And he bounces off one man and is dragged down, and the ball pops loose. They scramble on. And the Bears believe they have it as they untangle the pile. The wrestling goes on.
Now that's a bad break. Chris Harris comes in and misses the tackle here. There's Danielle Manning, their top pick in the 2nd round. And then Adrian Peterson comes out, their 3rd running back, and just knocks that bad boy out with his right hand. And I just punched it out.
I believe Brandon Ayanbadejo, who is a premier special teams player, recovered the fumble.
There's no doubt that he was still up. That knee wasn't down when that ball was popped out by Adrian Peterson.
I think Mike McCarthy is going to challenge.
We better take a good look up at the big board here and save his challenge. It's from up here. That didn't
Green
even
Bay
look
is
close.
challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble.
All right. Tony Corrente will check it out. And while he does, we'll step out for a moment. The Bears leaving. Tony Corrente has made his decision. Coach is awaiting the announcement.
We know replay is down to 60 seconds this year.
That's right.
I think he needed about 30 to make his mind up on that one, Sam.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field will stand. It was a fumble. The runner was still on his feet, progressing forward at the time of the fumble. First down.
The explanation from Tony Corrente, and another look here.
Yeah, and you can see Danielle Manning right there, 38, doing a nice job of hanging on. And then watch 29, Peterson come in with his right hand right there and pop it out, and clearly both knees still up off the ground by Herron.
So here are the Bears at the Packers 16 with a 13-point lead. Jones wants to throw, and he's got trouble now. Bajabiamila gets to him, and the pass is complete to Grossman. And he's out of bounds.
Are you kidding
at
me?
the 20-yard line.
Are you kidding
it's
me?
a 4-yard loss.
That's playground football.
That's a
Now, I
flag.
won't be surprised if there was a lineman downfield blocking. But that's playground football. I mean, you see that.
Now the question is, can the
After
quarterback
school.
be the receiver
Sure.
on that play?
Sure.
Well, everybody's having a good time in the Chicago huddle. And Tony Corrente talking things over.
I love the fact Thomas Jones has tried to make a play.
Of a forward pass. A T formation quarterback by rule is ineligible. But this penalty has been declined because the result of the play is a loss of yardage. Second down.
Okay.
Good call, Sam, by formation. They couldn't do it. But you just love the fact that it's like being on the playground. Look at that.
That's it. Jones says, hey, there's a guy in a white jersey. I'll throw to him. Loss of 4 on the play. Back to the 20, 2nd and 14. Rasheed Davis in for the Bears as the 3rd wide receiver. There's Jones. Straight ahead with a good hole, and he's tripped up. Otherwise, he may have gone in. Nick Collins got his ankle. Jones thought he was headed for the goal line.
Really big hole by everybody up front. And then watch Desmond Clark come up and lead up inside. Number 88. Watch him right in front of Thomas Jones. Pow on Ben Taylor, or on Nick Barnett. Opens it up. Good job doubling down inside by Reuben Brown and Fred Miller. Gaping hole there for Thomas Jones to go north and south.
3rd and 4 for the Bears with 3 wide receivers again. Grossman going short, kind of slipped out of his hands as he wanted to go to the tight end, and there's no gain on the play. Actually went to Thomas Jones on the pass. Looked like he sent all the wide receivers out and tried to surprise them with a little toss to Jones.
Well, that's a really good job, Sam, by the defense of Green Bay and sudden change coming out and getting a stop here. And I think if you look at this Bears team, certainly won't be satisfied with that. An area where they need to get better red zone offense, judging off of last year.
28-yard field goal try for Robbie Gould. And Gould is 3 for 3. The Bears add to the lead, now 16-0, getting 3 points off the turnover by the Packers. Well, this is the start of the 50th year of play here at Lambeau Field. If you go back to September 29, 1957, it was the Packers and the Bears right here at Lambeau. And the Pack played well in front of 32,000. They beat the Bears 21-17.
You know, the beauty of this rivalry is that, yeah, it's the fans hate fans, but the players, I got to tell you, and playing for Chicago and playing up here a bunch of times and knowing the guys that played up here, knowing some of our players that finished up here, it's a great rivalry, but there's always been a healthy respect among the players of the Bears and the Green Bay Packers. That's just been my experience. The guys love to hate each other. They love to come up here and play, but I think at the end of the day, on both sides of the ball, they really respect each other.
Was it tough to play here as a visiting player?
Always tough. But can you get a better venue than here?
No.
I mean, come on. The Bears always travel well with their fans, but it's an epic place to play up here at Lambeau Field.
Noah Herron and Robert Ferguson are deep to receive this kick. Herron fumbled his first ever NFL kickoff return on the last one. Stays on the field. Gould kicks off, and it's Robert Ferguson, the wide receiver from the 9. Trying to take it outside, and the Bears are there to stop him at the 25-yard line. Time for an update, and for that, let's go to Chris Rose. Chris.
All right, Sam, the scoreboard at New Cardinal Stadium getting a serious workout in the first quarter. Kurt Warner with 2 TD passes, this one to Anquan Boldin. The Cardinals scored 21 first quarter points after they hadn't scored a first quarter touchdown all of last season, but the Niners come back thanks to Frank Gore, pounds it in. The Niners still trail by 7 with 10 and change to go to the half. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Look at this, Sam. This Packer team's got to get something going in terms of moving the chains and giving that defense a little rest.
3 wide receivers for Green Bay as Robert Ferguson is in. The draw play Ahman Green. Nice move to the outside. Nice pickup. Drives forward for about 12 on the play. Mike Brown finally took him down. Nice run by Ahman Green.
Well, he's got the burst, and again, another nice block by Vontae Leach. Getting Brian Urlacher down on the ground. This is what they wondered about here with Ahman Green. Does he have the burst to get up in that hole and accelerate? So far, so good, Sam, in this football game. Hasn't had a lot of holes to run, but when he has, he's shown that he's clearly still got that ability.
Packers come out with 3 tight ends. Donald Driver, the only wide receiver, and now a timeout is called. And this one by the Bears. I don't know if they've seen that formation or expected it. But timeout for the Bears. Their first of the half. Well, Ahman Green is a big story, as Tim told you earlier. And for more on Ahman, let's go to the sideline to Chris.
Yeah, Sam, you and Tim raved about how well he looked. Even his teammates, fullback William Henderson, saying he looks like he's 10 years younger at running strong. But he has a unique way of getting ready before a game, and especially when it's a rival like the Chicago Bears. He watches the video, Pure Payton, and he says it's not so much that he imitates the moves of Walter Payton, it just gets him into the mindset, the kind of player he was, the kind of runner he was, and he did whatever he had to do to help his team win. So Ahman Green trying to feed off a former Chicago Bear late great to do well for the Green Bay Packers.
Not a bad movie to watch. Bubba Franks, David Martin, Donald Lee, the 3 tight ends in for the Packers on first down. Lee motions. Favre in trouble. They got him. Second sack of the game. If you remember earlier when Favre tripped when the left guard Spitz stepped on his foot.
Boy, what a move.
Got a sack.
What a move by the rookie right here on Chad Clifton. Look at Mark Anderson swoop right inside, and Brett Favre has no chance.
They love Mark Anderson.
Love him.
Great speed. 5th-round draft pick out of Alabama. His first NFL sack.
And a fast guy like that, you expect hitting the edge. Little shake-up coming back inside on Clifton.
Ball back to the 32. Checks off. Ahman Green. Oh, there's Anderson again. Well, you can see why they like him. He is active.
And that's why I think they let Michael Haynes go. The old first-round draft choice. He's got his number here, does Mark Anderson. He just kind of was a pinball wizard in there. He just kind of got knocked right into the play coming on that inside run stunt.
They re-signed Israel Adonijay. They matched an offer sheet he'd gotten, but Adonijay's out with an ankle injury, and here's Anderson getting a chance to play.
Well, and expect him to play a lot with Alex Brown and that shoulder injury, Sam, over at right end.
On 3rd and long, Favre steps back, goes short to Ahman Green, picks up a block. Gets up to the 44, but he's short of a first down. Hunter Hillenmeyer, maybe the most unsung hero on this defense. Guy who quietly does a solid job in the shadow of Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs.
Well, he is solid. I think the whole thing is most of the time he comes off on nickel, and people don't think he's a complete player, but the Bears do, and that's why they gave him a nice little contract this offseason.
John Ryan's 3rd punt of the game. He throws a pass, and it is caught by Noah Herron. First down. Herron just held on. He juggled, and held on. So the trick play by the Pack nets a first down at the Bears' 40-yard line.
Boy, they needed that. Look at John Ryan. I'm not going to punt it first NFL game. Drops that dime right on the money.
Fox Sunday is back tonight. Look at this primetime lineup. The Simpsons, American Dad, Family Guy, and The War at Home. The new fall season starts first tonight, 8, 7 Central, only on Fox. John Ryan, his first NFL pass. Out of the Canadian Football League, played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 3 tight ends in. Favre in trouble, is hit and brought down. Alex Brown bursting through, playing with an injured shoulder and a harness.
That was a bust in protection right there. Chad Clifton is going to block down, giving the lane to Alex Brown, and then the running back taking a bad angle. Neither one of them knew who was going to go out and get Alex Brown there, and he just knifed through after a good get-off for a sack.
3rd sack of the game for the Bears. Loss of 11 on the play. Back to midfield. Alan Green back in the backfield with Brett Favre. There's pressure. Green by himself. Urlacher, the first man to hit him. Hunter Hillenmeyer finishes up.
They've only got 1 timeout here, so under a minute. Better start working the sideline a little bit. Because those Bears, they'll sit in that cover too, and they'll just stick tackle you all day. When I say that, I mean tackle you up in front of those sticks and try to exhaust all your downs.
Mike McCarthy calls the plays. Offensive coordinator, 5 years in New Orleans and last year in San Francisco. 3 wide receivers for the Pack. The tight end Bubba Franks motions. Favre puts it up, completes it to Ferguson at the 35-yard line.
See, but that's what I'm talking about. That's a stick route. I mean, that's a stick tackle.
Yeah.
Up before the first down marker. Now you got 4th down.
And the Packers send on the field goal kicking unit. This will be Brett Favre looking at the sideline. They'll call a timeout with just a couple of seconds to go. Time winds down. Brett makes the call to the official. Final play of the first half coming up. As you look at Dave Rayner, who was the kickoff specialist for the Indianapolis Colts last year, came into camp, signed by the Packers. They let Billy Cundiff go, who's a veteran from Dallas, and said he's got the strong leg, but Rayner has never made a field goal in NFL play.
Well, he won the job. You know, I think he was going to stay in Indianapolis, who drafted him last year, and they lost Vanderjagt down to Dallas. I think they were content on Dave Rayner being their guy, but when Adam Vinatieri came available in New England, Sam, who wouldn't make that move? The Colts signed Vinatieri. He became free. The Packers picked him up. And if you talk to Mike Stock and the guys here in Green Bay, they really think he's got a strong leg and has a bright future.
This is a 53-yard try to get the Packers on the board. And now a timeout called for by the Bears as they look to ice Dave Rayner. Rayner tried one field goal last year in a game against San Francisco, a 59-yarder, and was short on it.
Here's where you find out about your kicker. Bears-Packers, Lambeau, first kick of the year, and it's 53 yards.
He was 2 for 2 in preseason, both from 30 yards. Not an easy place to make your NFL debut, but we were talking with Mike Stock, the special teams coordinator, who said they need to have patience. He's going to miss some, but he's got the strong leg. They think he can become a really good NFL place kicker.
And I think they desperately need this. Get a little momentum, get some points on the board here before the half.
There's a 53-yard try, and it's wide left, not even close. So the first half ends in disappointing fashion, but not for the Bears. Rex Grossman led the offense well. They put 16 points on the board. It's 16-0 Bears at the half. Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where the Chicago Bears lead the Packers 16-0. This was a day in which some of the former greats of the Packers were honored, including the 1996 Super Bowl team, which was led by this man, the great Reggie White, the late great Reggie White, who was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame this summer. And who can ever forget what he meant emotionally, inspirationally, and on the field physically for the Green Bay Packers. His son Jeremy, his wife Sarah there to see his name unveiled amongst the Hall of Famers who are there listed along the board here in Lambeau Field. The fans standing and cheering the late great Reggie White.
Only one minister of defense, Sam. Only one. And if you saw any of the Hall of Fame stuff when Reggie was inducted and Sarah, his wife, and the son were there to accept. I mean, it was really, really good stuff.
Great memories of that 1996 Super Bowl championship team. Unfortunately for the Packers right now, this seems to be a transition time for them.
There's no doubt. This is a rebuilding year for them. Mike McCarthy knows it. And I'll tell you, this game really shouldn't even be this close. I will give the Green Bay Packers defense credit in one area, in the red zone today. When they've been backed up against it, with their backs against the wall, they've played pretty well. The one long touchdown, obviously, to Bernard Berrian early, and then the 3 field goals that Chicago has been able to punch through.
The Bears have played like a confident playoff-type team throughout.
Absolutely. I think the questions have been answered. I mean, we know their defense is going to be great all year if they stay healthy, but the balance, I think Ron Turner has called an outstanding game, the offensive coordinator, Sam, and Rex Grossman hasn't let anybody down. I mean, he's a huge question coming into this year. And first half, so far, so good for Rex and this Bears offense.
Robbie Gould, who has kicked 3 field goals. There's Grossman warming up. Robbie Gould will kick off to start the second half. And here we go. Robert Ferguson, Noah Herron deep. It's Ferguson at the 1. And the Bears control it, cover it well down at the 21 to the sideline to Chris Myers. Chris.
Sam, it was Lovie Smith smiling, saying Rex Grossman did a great job. He said you're going to see Cedric Benson out of the Bears in the second half because they always run the ball. Mike McCarthy, happy with what his offensive line has done, reiterated what Tim Green said about his defense and said, we don't want to put Brett Favre in a situation where we have to do this. I got to mix it up, but Brett's going to have to throw to get us out of this.
Just haven't controlled the ball. They go to start with 2 tight ends, Bubba Franks and David Martin.
Like 6.
It's Franks in motion. Amon Green, the running back. Favre puts it up for Donald Driver. Oh, a beautiful pass and catch. Charles Tillman on the tackle. Driver with a nice grab, 24-yard pickup on the play.
They got 3 guys on Donald Driver here. Mike Brown's going to come over, try to get in front of him. He's just going to cut that skinny post right in front of Tillman and in between the safety, Chris Harris. What a strike from Brett Favre to Donald Driver.
Wow. Back-to-back 1,200-yard receiving seasons. Really established himself as a solid receiver in the league. Ahman Green for maybe 2 yards on the play.
This defensive line has been really dominant for the most part today. They're on the run game against Ahman Green. Short yardage there on 4th down, stuffing Brett Favre, and then getting after him in the pass game. Any quarterback with guys in his face is going to have a rough day. Now, Brett's been 5 for 5 in the first half, but that defensive line hasn't made it easy for him, bringing the heat.
Ian Scott has gone on the sideline for the Bears, replaced by Alfonso Boone at defensive tackle.
He's offsides right there, too.
97.
Favre taking off. Looks like Tommy Harris is leaning in there. Here's Ahman Green, bouncing it outside. Nice move by Ahman Green. Chris Harris, the safety, came up but missed the angle on him, and Green got outside where Nathan Vasher finally brought him down. First down Bears.
Nothing about the zone play here. This is all isolation. Watch Vontae Leach right there on Hunter Hillenmeyer. Pow! Body rocker. Good job holding Urlacher on the inside. Ahman Green reads it perfectly, bounces to the outside for a much-needed first down and the ability to move the chains here.
And I did mean first down Packers at the Bears, 42. Sam Congatto in at running back. Here's Favre. Little screen pass dropped by David Martin. Martin had lined up as a fullback. Coming out of the backfield, that lob was a little too far for him. First half statistics. The Bears controlling things 236 yards to 103 for the Packers.
And look at the first downs. I mean, that's what you call moving the chains, 12-4, keeping that defense on the field and getting them tired for Chicago. I'm thinking, and again, to give Ron Turner credit, nice mix of the run and the pass today. Keeping Green Bay in the first half on their heels a little bit.
His first interception of the game brings up a 2nd and 10. The Franks motions and then sets. Blitz coming. Favre under pressure. And the pass off the hands of the rookie Greg Jennings falls incomplete. Charles Tillman covering on the play.
That's one of those heat seekers on Greg Jennings. Had no chance. Look at these numbers from last year in terms of how many attempts by Brett Favre throwing the football. It was all throwing the rock for Brett Favre last year. Today, only 8 attempts in this football game. A lot of that just the number of plays that they've been out on the field offensively for Green Bay.
5 defensive backs in for the Bears on 3rd and 10. Back-to-back incompletions thrown by Brett Favre. Blitz coming again. They chase him. Favre throws it deep and out of bounds. So the Bears getting pressure on Brett Favre.
That was a jailbreak. Tommy Harris right in the backfield. Packers are trying to stack the protection guys over here and keep it back in. Look at the guys over here, but here's the guy. Watch Tommy Harris right by Chad Clifton. But Clifton mentally looks like he's had a rough day today in terms of his pass protection stuff.
One of the things that Brett Favre talked about the rookie linemen, he said it's the veterans that have to maintain their composure and not get complacent. That ball is at the goal line, and it's a touchback. Packers almost got to it. John Ryan's 3rd punt of the game is a 42-yarder, but that's only 22.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Next week, NFL on Fox. Bears are home against the Lions. Big division game. Lions played Seattle tough today. Seattle winning 9-6. Packers home against the Saints, who won in Cleveland today.
Big win for Sean Payton.
Yeah. Bears start from the 20. Did not punt in the first half. Thomas Jones behind McKee. The Packers stretch it out, do a good job. It's a 1-yard pickup. Cullen Jenkins in on the tackle. As Chris Myers said earlier, expect to see Cedric Benson later on in the game.
Here's their first-round draft choice at the number 5, A.J. Hawk, and he's just going to follow his guys up front, flow, make it go sideways, take on the block, and then be the force guy to force Thomas Jones back inside. You know, A.J. Hawk now is a rare athlete. Guy going about 245, Sam, running in the 4.4 range. He's for real now.
Happiest man on the field when the game started because Ohio State won last night. How about that grab by Muhsin Muhammad? His 5th catch of the game, a beauty, up at the 43-yard line. Make it the 44 as he was matched up with Charles Woodson. 23-yard pickup.
And
Big
believe it or
game.
not, Sam, he's a mismatch to Charles Woodson. He's just too big and strong. And right there, he just out-physicaled Charles. Charles mistimed his jump, got up there, and Moose told us he was going to be able to do that. He said, if I'm matched up on Charles Woodson, he's a finesse guy. I think I can beat him with my big body, and you saw a nice example of it there.
You mentioned he lost weight. He changed his diet, cut out the fats. He does say he cheats on Thursday nights at state night with a fight. Grossman going deep down the field for Berrien, but it's incomplete. Good job on the play that time by Woodson, as he covered Berrien stride for stride. A lot of speed.
I think there's one thing Charles can still do, it's run with guys. He doesn't want to challenge you. He'll get up there and press, and then he'll bail. He'll want to be a real physical guy. Wants to get in your hip pocket and run with you. And clearly there, as you know, Berrien's got that significant heat right down the seam. Charles was able to stay with him without a problem.
9th year in the league for Charles Woodson.
Boy, did he get a nice contract coming over here from Oakland
Yes,
this
he did.
offseason. Raised a lot of eyebrows around the National Football League for a player who's really had some significant injury over the last few years.
Their player who won the Heisman Trophy, defensive player in 1997.
Plays over, man.
Michigan. That pickup up to the 47-yard line. Bears just controlling the football.
I think in games like this with Lovey, any good coach knows how to play with a lead. And I think you're going to continue to see the balance. It's not going to be an exclusive run game, but I think you'll just see them continue to pound it because they've got so much confidence in their team defensively. A lot of runs on 1st and 2nd down from now for the remainder of the game.
Now on 3rd down, 3 wide receivers in. Grossman being rushed, throws it away. It's incomplete. He was hit hard as they came at him. Campman and A.J. Hawk. Campman from the outside, Hawk on the inside, and they got to Grossman.
And A.J. Hawk just is a free runner here. He's completely wide open. Owen Cruz blocks away. You'll see Roberto Garza, the right guard, turn out to Corey Williams, and A.J. Hawk just came unblocked. Forced Rex Grossman to unload that ball before his receiver could get his head turned.
First punt of the game for Brad Maynard, and here's Charles Woodson, who wants to be a punt returner. He's done it 12 times with Oakland. That's a high punt that bounces at the 5, goes out of bounds. What a punt by Maynard. Out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Well, that's what he's known for, Sam. Dropping him down in the corner. That's a big place, field position-wise, for this Bears team.
49-yard punt, no return. Some of the top quarterbacks around the NFL. Chad Pennington passed for 319 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jets won in Tennessee. Donovan McNabb and the Eagles winning in Philadelphia. Packers start from the 4. Amon Green doesn't get anything.
Late flag.
We'll check out the flag on the play. They may give Amon Green a yard. We'll see where they spot it. Flag is down at the 2-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 65. This penalty has been declined. 2nd down.
It's on the right tackle, Mark Tasher. He doesn't like the call and lets Tony Correnti know about it.
He's a good player. I've always been a fan of Mark Tauscher. He's one of those guys, you look at him and don't let the bad body fool you. I mean, that guy's way more athletic than anybody realizes.
2nd and 10, 2 tight ends in, David Martin and Bubba Franks. Favre puts it up and completes to Driver. Up to the 17-yard line for a 1st down. Chris Harris made the tackle. 13-yard pickup on the play. This 3rd catch of the game.
Sam,
for Donald
that
Driver.
play is a staple of the West Coast offense. I mean, you look backside to that ex-receiver that's on the line of scrimmage and throw him that hard slant. Looked like they knew it was coming. Chicago had it well covered. Brett was able to squeeze it in there between 2 or 3 defenders.
In motion, David Martin. On Green, cutting it back inside, bounced off of Tommy Harris and goes down at the 19-yard line, where Brian Urlacher took him down. Brian Urlacher, 7th year in the league, 5 times to the Pro Bowl, including last year And he just says he's getting better and learning the position each year.
Watch Tauscher here. This is the key. He's got to get Tommy Harris to the ground on that zone play away. That's everything. For that backside guard tackle, get your guys to the ground to give that cutback lane backside. Big Tauscher there couldn't get Tommy Harris down. Well played by Tommy going up and lighting up him on Green.
Hank Johnson in defensive tackle. Ricky Manning Jr., 5th defensive back for the Bears. On 2nd and 8. Blitz coming from the outside is picked up. Long pass off the hands of the rookie Greg Jennings. Good coverage by Charles Tillman. Greg Jennings had an outstanding preseason and took over as the #2 wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Rookie out of Western Michigan who thought he was going to college at Michigan. They took back the scholarship offer. He was real down. He was thinking about giving up football. Went to Western Michigan and had a great career.
Well, he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He learned to play against rolled coverage and learned to play all 3 positions, which is going to suit him well here at the pro game. Already reading coverage on the run, Sam, which is huge for rookie receivers.
Out of the shotgun, Packers are 0 for 6 on 3rd down in the game. Completion there to Driver. Takes it outside. He's got a 1st down. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Driver, the key man for Brett Favre. Pickup of 24 on the play.
Remember how we were watching earlier with Thomas Jones whiffing on pass protection? Watch Ahman Green right here, stepping up right on Lance Briggs. He's going nowhere. He just stoned him right there at the line of scrimmage to give Brett Favre that time to find Driver right in the middle of the field.
Driver 4 catches, 79 yards. Sam Congato in at running back for the Packers at their own 43-yard line. Favre pressured, gets rid of it, incomplete. And he's hit hard and knocked down by Adewale Ogunleye.
Look at Brett. He loves to play the game. You talk about a heart of a lion. This guy's out here just rolling.
Well, of course, the big story throughout the preseason was about Brett Favre and the comments he made in an interview with Bob Costas where he left the door open. Maybe he might play for somebody else. He said, you know what, let's let it all play out. Right now, I love to play. This is where I am, and this is where I expect to be. 396. Draw play to Gatto, and he stopped. Oh, beautiful play up front by the Bears. Looked like Alfonso Boone.
You know, you talk about Brett Favre, and I think he's already said, despite what happens this year, he feels good about his decision. Actually heard Phil Simms talking on a radio show. And they say, oh, well, the radio host, we're going to have Phil Simms coming back on. We're going to talk about Brett Favre. Brett said his ears perked up. He listened, and Phil said, when you think you're done, play 2 more years. Make them drag you off the football field. He said, I got one bit of advice for Brett, because when life after football, Sam, it's forever. And Brett took it to heart, and he's back here in Green Bay.
3rd and 13 for the Pack. And the dump off to Gatto. Sam Congato in trouble. The Bears have got him. And the Packers will be first to punt.
Everybody talks about, sorry, Sam, Brett's 29 interceptions last year. And look at that graphic right there. When leading, only 4 interceptions. When tied, 2. 23 of those 29 when trailing. And I said, Brett, correct me if I'm wrong. Drill a hole in this. Winning is more important to you than throwing a pick. Because absolutely, man, I'm going to take my shots. If we're losing and we're down and there's only one way to get it done and I've got to find a guy, I'm going to make the throw.
He's not going to take the dump offs. The punt by Ryan. Hester takes it on the run. Watch out here. But a good tackle at the 34. The dangerous Devin Hester out of the University of Miami. 16-yard return. Brett Favre goes to the sideline. The Packers offense has been struggling.
Rex Grossman said he became a Brett Favre fan when Rex was a freshman in high school in the mid-90s. He said he always appreciated Brett's toughness. Grossman said he admires Brett Favre's streak and would like to start a streak of his own. He also said, jokingly, that the Bears were tired of hearing about the 85 Bears, and he's tired as a quarterback of hearing about Sid Luckman.
Well, if he keeps playing the way he has, they will forget about it and move on. There's Cedric Benson in the game and a nice carry on 1st down. as he picked up 6.
And that's his first contact in a while. He went down with a shoulder injury about halfway through training camp, and he hasn't had any contact since then. I know they got high hopes for him, Sam, drafting him number 4 overall. This guy's another guy that runs with a real chip on his shoulder.
3 wide receivers in the game. It's Benson again, bouncing it outside. He runs hard. That's the one thing people talk about. He runs hard, physical. He's taken out of bounds by Nick Collins, but a first down for the Bears at the 47-yard line.
You know, down at Texas, he was a guy 4 straight years at over 1,000 yards. And the Bears made the move to get him in the top 5. And long holdout, I think, really hurt him last year as a rookie. Remember that? He was out for a long time and finally got in the mix, got hurt in the Cleveland game with a knee injury, and then never really found his way after that.
I think right now he's trying to win over his teammates. I think he's trying to win their respect. They respect Thomas Jones. They know what he can do.
There's only one way to do it, Sam. It's called production.
Nice play fake by Grossman. Looking for Desmond Clark. He's got him for a first down at the Packers' 34-yard line. Clark, big part of the offense for the Bears today. He is held on nicely. 19-yard gain on the play, his 4th catch.
Well, and a great throw beats good coverage every time, and that's real good coverage by Brady Papinga. I mean, he's in a trail right position there on Desmond Clark, and Clark had just had not even a half a step on him, but Rex was able to thread the needle and put that baby right on the money.
Bears on the move again. Benson goes in motion. It's the fullback, McKee, getting a little work. Short pickup on the play down the 33-yard line. Bears have controlled the ball very well offensively, have punted only once in the game.
Good player in Aaron Campman there. Another guy that, you know, after 4 years, I think Minnesota, a couple other teams were looking to get him pillaged off the Packer roster, and Ted Thompson, the general manager here, stepped up and gave him a real nice contract. And he's one of those guys, anytime you can get upwards of 100 tackles out of a defensive lineman, 6 or 7 sacks, that's a terrific year, and Aaron Campman's got that written all over.
3 wide receivers for the Bears. Rasheed Davis in. Grossman being rushed by Jenkins, threw it away, hit the back of Fred Miller. That's an incomplete pass. Whistle didn't blow. I believe it's an incomplete pass. Now flags fly. It should be an illegal forward pass.
It is. It hit Fred Miller right in the back, the right offensive tackle. What a nice little rush by Cullen Jenkins. Made the connection earlier. You know, his brother is big Chris Jenkins down there with Carolina, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle, and Cullen just a nice little move past Reuben Brown there. You know, anytime on a screen, you're going to see those offensive linemen. They're going to let their guy go, but you've got to hold him up for a second.
I think the Packers want to reconsider. They want to reconsider whether to accept the penalty or
Illegal
not.
touching of a pass. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
Okay. We'll bring up a second and 14.
Not your fault, Big Fred. Don't worry.
No. Sets the Bears back for the Packers' 38-yard line. Thomas Jones, who's rushed for 58 yards on 18 carries, is back in at running back with 3 wide receivers in the game. Grossman being rushed, gets rid of it, and it's held on to nicely by Muhsin Muhammad. Dives forward to the 25-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. 13-yard pickup on the play.
And this is what Rex can do. Look at that bailout throw. Anytime you call out a bailout throw, it's a quarterback throwing off his back foot. Leads Muhsin Muhammad just enough. And boy, with all the drops that Muhsin had last year, he's really made up for it today.
He's holding on to the ball well. He's running well.
Clearly leaner, right? We saw him last night talking to him about his new diet and his new nutrition. And talk about Rusty Jones and Clyde Emmerich and some of these guys that are in the strength and conditioning department there with the Bears have done a super job with all these guys.
On 3rd and 1, Grossman to the fullback McKee, a first down. Chased down by Nick Barnett. He stepped out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And don't forget, tomorrow night, an all-new Prison Break. The entire country is looking for them. The net is tightening, and we guarantee something's going down. Somebody's going down on the all-new Prison Break. 8 7 Central, right here on Fox. Viewer discretion advised. My discretion is I never miss it.
No, I don't either.
That is a great show.
Wife and I always get down in front of Prison Break.
27th career 100-yard game, first of the Chicago Bear for Muhsin Muhammad. Thomas Cedric Benson back in the game. Picks up a couple just inside the 15-yard line. Big game for Muhsin Muhammad. Big game for Rex Grossman. He was frustrated last season.
Of course he was.
He was playing within the team concept, knew that what the team was doing. They didn't throw the ball much with Kyle Orton, the rookie, in there. But it was a tough season.
Well, the problem was everybody rolled coverage, and there's Orton right there who won 10 games last year. Everybody rolled coverage to Moose, and there wasn't another guy that could threaten the defense. So clearly his numbers were way down.
On second down, Benson inside, gets a couple of yards, down to about the 12-yard line. Take a look at the day Muhsin Muhammad has had. Stretching out. Off the ground, battling defenders.
He's just done it in more ways than one today. He's used his big body to shield off the smaller guys, and then he's been able to run away from the bigger guys.
Bears have to get to the 6-yard line for a first down. Thomas Jones back in with 3 wide receivers. Grossman with time. The pass is tipped and falls incomplete. Wanted to go to Rashid Davis, cutting to the inside, and Cullen Jenkins got the big arm up to bat the pass away, and here comes the field goal kicking unit. So if there's one flaw in the game for the Bears today, it's that they haven't converted in the red zone.
That's right, and if they would be where they want to be in the red zone, this game wouldn't even be close. So I do give some credit to Green Bay too. Rashid Davis was open that time, but Cullen Jenkins just individually made a terrific play to bat that thing down.
30-yard field goal try for Robbie Gould. And Gould makes it 4 for 4. And the Bears have a 19-0 lead on their arch rivals, the Green Bay Packers. The Bears playing strong.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. By Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. By DirecTV, there's good TV, there's better TV, and then there's DirecTV. And by Nike Gridiron, football is everything.
A lot of new coaches began careers today. Rod Marinelli in Detroit, tough loss to Seattle. Gary Kubiak in Houston, lost to Philadelphia. Sean Payton in New Orleans, won in Cleveland. Dick Duran in Buffalo, lost at New England.
They gave them all they wanted, though, didn't they?
Yes, they did. On the return, Noah Herron, who fumbled earlier in the game, is hit by Todd Johnson and brought down at the 28-yard line. Are they watching this game?
Ah, surf's up, baby. Huh?
Baseball playoffs are right around the corner. Regular season continues on Fox Saturday. Yankees and Red Sox in New York. Some of you will also see the White Sox and the A's. 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on Fox on Saturday.
Rumor has it you can play a little baseball, Sam.
I could still go a little bit. Oh, driver is hit hard by Charles Tillman. Let's go downstairs to Chris along the sideline.
Sam, the Bear players are calling him their secret weapon. Strength and conditioning coach Rusty Jones. He's old school but new wave, kind of a Jenny Craig, Mr. Universe approach, improving the diet, lifting weights. His plan is a specific program for each player. For example, Rex Grossman, more unbalanced coming over or off of his injury. Same for Muhsin Muhammad. He uses Pilates. The players call it Bear Lattes. And he says he's going to write a book that if you say the title is "If You Want to Lose Weight, You Got to Be Hungry a Lot."
I don't like that. Amon Green looks like he's got a first down up at the 38-yard line. Nice play.
Hey, Rusty has done a terrific job with these guys. There's not a fat guy on this football team with the Chicago Bears. To a man, they're stronger than ever before. Guys have changed their diets. Now, one thing that I think people should know is Rusty has done all the nutrition stuff, all the strength stuff, and all the stretching. But Clyde Emmerich, who you see right here is Clyde, behind Coach Lovie Smith, has been in charge of all the lifting and all the Olympic lifting. Clyde was a world record holder at one time, strength coach when I was there, knows what he's doing. This is a strong football team.
And even the head coach has bought into it. He's lost 20 pounds. Favre for Ferguson, incomplete. Favre hit as he let it go. Pressure from Ogunleye and Tommy Harris. Bears have had 3 sacks in the game. They've had a good rotation up front. You see Tank Johnson, 99 in the game.
Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
The center, Scott Wells, called for holding.
And they've had their hands full with those Bears defensive linemen. You know, one thing about Chicago is, and they've had a couple of guys nicked and injured through training camp, but they're extremely deep. They can bring wave rushers into that combat zone, Sam, and they can really get after you. You got a rookie there like Mark Anderson, bringing that kind of heat around the corner. Good stuff.
Donajay out. He'd normally be in there. 3 penalties in the game for the Packers. They're set back to their 28. Favre, nobody open. Flag on the play. Favre runs out of bounds around the line of scrimmage. Tauscher for holding, I believe.
Probably didn't need to either, as Ogunleye was trying to separate and get to Brett Favre as Brett broke contain, and big Mark Tauscher
holding. Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
And watch Tauscher as he's going to be, as Ogunleye is trying an inside move. Already got him wrapped there, but here's the hold as he grabs the jersey and stretches it, and Ogunleye can't get off. Tony Corrente saw that bigger than Dallas from his position right there behind Mark Tauscher.
Final seconds ticking off of the 3rd quarter. The Packers, who were up at the 39, are back at their 19, 1st and 30. The wide receivers, Ferguson in. Bubba Franks motions. Favre short to Amon Green, and Lance Briggs is right there to bring him down. 4-yard gain. 3rd quarter comes to an end. Chicago Bears continue to dominate on both sides of the ball. They lead here in Green Bay on opening weekend, 19-0. Welcome back to Fox NFL Sunday kickoff weekend. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers at Lambeau Field, where the Pack faithful are not too happy. A lot of Bears fans make the trip up here. They're enjoying the game. Right now it's 2nd and 25. I think it's 2nd and 26. Favre fires to the sideline, overthrows Donald Driver. Charles Tillman and the rookie Danielle Manning with the coverage on the play.
Everybody talks about the cover 2 that Lovie Smith brought up from Tampa and over to St. Louis and then here to Chicago. This is where you're going to see the most of it. If you watch them early in games, not a lot of 2. They challenge people, play that single safety high coverage, but the cover 2 and what it's built for is to limit big plays. And it's all about personnel and precision, guys being in the right spot. Anytime this team, watch them all year, they get up a couple of touchdowns, you see a lot of this cover 2.
3rd about a 1/4 mile for the Packers. And off inside, Amon Green picks up a couple of blocks, gets up to the 34-yard line, where Tommy Harris takes him down, and the Packers have forced a punt. And the fans getting on the Pack a little bit. It's been a long time since the Packers have not scored in a game. You have to go back to 1991. They have one of the longest streaks in NFL history. Scored in 233 consecutive games. And that is the 4th longest streak in NFL history, 2nd longest active streak. Ryan's punt. Devin Hester from the 16. Looking for a lane, he's got one. Watch out here. If he gets a couple of blocks, he's gone. Devin Hester, the rookie from Miami. Touchdown. 84-yard punt return for a touchdown by Devin Hester. He got a big block from another rookie, Mark Anderson, and he takes it to the house. And the Bears are scoring in all manners.
Well, they'll tell you Hester's electric. Watch the little crease. He's going to get right there, and he exploits it. He gets in the open field. He's gone. Mark Anderson doing a nice job on the kicker, deflecting him enough. Hester turns on the Jets, no chance.
They are so excited about this young man. Some people think he might be better suited to play offense, but he came in as a cornerback.
Let's also remember all the problems they had with Bobby Wade last year, fielding punts and doing other things. They drafted this guy to do exactly that.
6 career returns at the University of Miami. Hester knows how to play off the blocks. Some big blocks down there taking Jarrett Bush out of the play. And Devin Hester puts another touchdown on the board for the Bears.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by Ford. Bold moves, they happen every day. By Lowe's, for all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together. By Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL. And by Diet Pepsi. Live NFL, drink Diet Pepsi.
There is Devin Hester. Boy, big smile and with good reason. Robbie Gould's kick into the wind, brought back by Sam Congato. Trying to break out slide, slipped a couple of tackles, finally shoved out of bounds by Adrian Peterson, but a good return up to the 34-yard line. Next week, week 2 of the NFL on Fox. The Bears home opener against the Detroit Lions, the Packers home against the New Orleans Saints, Vikings and Panthers, Giants and the Eagles, and the pregame show will be live in Philadelphia beginning at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. You saw the late games, Rams and 49ers, Cardinals and the Seahawks. That should be a good one.
Can't wait to see the fellas, Jimmy, Terry, Howie, Joe, in that Philly parking lot at the Link.
Oh, baby. They had some trouble in the heat in Jacksonville today. They were sweating. They had to change shirts a couple of times. Favre works out of the shotgun. Long way to come back now. His pass is tipped and dropped. Good effort on the play by Amon Green to try and get the tip ball, but it fell out of his hands. Alex Brown with the deflection of the Favre pass.
You know, we're talking about Rusty Jones and Clyde Emmerich and all the stuff that they've done with these guys from a physical standpoint. It's showing up on the field now. You tell me there's a faster looking defense in pro football than these Bears. These guys are flying to the football all over the place, from the D-line to the back end of that secondary. Guys are very active.
There's a team that was built on defense last season and added to it with their first 5 picks in the draft. That pass complete to Driver. Good throw by Favre. He's 12 for 19 in the game. Driver the catch at the 44, right near the first down marker. Talking about that defense, those 5 all made the Pro Bowl, and they had 2 alternates.
They did, both defensive ends, Alex Brown and Adewale Agunlia. Both were alternates into the Pro Bowl. And you know, when drafting those 5 guys in the draft on defense, as Ron Rivera, the D coordinator, told us, hey, we don't want these guys to get fat and lazy. We're getting better.
First down, quick outside to Driver, slips one man. Tillman has got him, wrestles him down at the 48-yard line. Short pickup on the play. Ricky Manning Jr. missed the initial tackle. You see the Bears defense, the work that they've done. They've stopped the Packers on first down. 1 takeaway, 3 sacks.
Yep, they'd love to see that takeaway number go up, and this game's not over yet. But I think the message, as we said, and to reiterate that draft day, is Ron Rivera, Lovie Smith told every defender on this team as a man, hey, don't rest on your laurels, don't get fat, don't get lazy. We're going to be in it to win it in 2006.
Biggest stat there, no points for the Pack. On the 48, Favre, pressure from Brown. Throws through the hands of Donald Driver. Went up, made the attempt, took a hit from Mike Brown. Let's go to the sideline to Chris Myers. Chris.
Sam and Tim, this Bear defense doing it without 2 of their starters. Safety Chris Harris has been out much of the second half with a left ankle injury, and Hunter Hillenmeyer, starting linebacker, out much of the second half with a neck, the injury that he's had to ice down. And Lance Briggs, who left in the first half, has been back playing with a taped upper left shoulder. And of course, Alex Brown, as Tim Ryan pointed out, has been playing with a shoulder harness. So they're not at full strength, but they're still working on the shutout.
Well, and kudos to Jerry Angelo in the front office for assembling some depth where you don't miss a beat when you lose 2 or 3 players on defense.
Packers with a 3rd and 5. Favre rolls and throws, and it's almost intercepted. Dropped by Nathan Vasher. Vasher, who had 8 interceptions last season, had one right in his hands, and he wanted that badly, but he dropped it.
Yeah, he'll want that one back.
And a little off. Favre was a little off, rolling to his left, stops and throws.
No, and he had pressure too, bearing down on him from the backside. I think Vasher his vision got deflected by the receiver there. Didn't see it till it hit him in the chest plate.
And the Packers, down 26, are going for it here on 4th
Why
down.
not? Why not?
They need to get to the Bears' 46-yard line for a 1st down. 3 wide receivers in. Robert Ferguson on the
Watch
field.
that tight end.
And the pass a little behind, but it's caught. That's a great effort by Robert Ferguson. Tillman on the coverage, but Ferguson reaching back to make the catch, and it's a 1st down for the Packers.
Tillman gives Ferguson a nice little cushion here, and here he is. He's just going to run the slant down inside. But watch the adjustment on the ball. Back behind him to contort his body to go up and get that with contact, come down with a 1st down. Ferguson needed that. He got demoted to the 3 receiver because of Greg Jennings here in training camp, the rookie.
Favre stepped back as he saw what looked to be a blitz coming. Here they come. Favre unloads, and now it's intercepted by Charles Tillman. He slips. He was tripped up on the play. The Bears have it. 2nd turnover of the game. 1st interception thrown by Brett Favre. Charles Tillman had 5 interceptions last season. The Bears have the ball. Beautiful day for the Chicago Bears for sure. Flag on the play as Cedric Benson carries up to the 42-yard line. Rex Grossman, 16 for 23, 248 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Illegal motion. Offense number 87 was moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
And they've cut through this defense pretty good today. Let's remember Green Bay, and the stat may be skewed because they were behind in so many games. This is a number 7 defense in pro football, and Grossman has had no problem slicing through those guys today.
This is his 8th career start. He's 2-0 against the Packers.
I think
for number 3.
I think if it ends up being a W, and clearly looks like that, Lovie Smith, Sam, I think will be the first Bear coach ever to win his first 3 games at Lambeau Field.
That was his mantra when he took over the Bears, beat the Packers.
Yep.
And he's 3-1 coming into this game. Flags fly all over the field. 4 of them stopping the play.
Illegal snap. Offense number 57. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Olin Kreutz, the Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler.
Well, you know the new rule now in pro football is everybody's got to stay set for 1 second before the snap, including the center. And Olin's always been a guy that has that left hand twitch, and he's just ready to fire on you. And like they picked up on it that time and threw the flag.
Ball's back to the 27, 1st and 20. Cullen Jenkins in at defensive tackle for the Packers. On with Corey Williams. Nothing much, maybe a yard for Cedric Benson. Time for another update. For that, we go back to Chris Rose in L.A. Chris.
All right, Sam, have Chris Myers tell Thomas Jones that his brother Julius, his team is now losing down in Jacksonville. Number 7, Byron Leftwich into the 7th rushing touchdown of his career, and Jacksonville's now up 7. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris in Green Bay.
Thank you, Chris. And Jacksonville coming back strong after being down 10-0.
I got a lot of respect for Jack Del Rio. He's a heck of a football coach.
Off the play fake. Grossman throwing for Benson, incomplete, and takes a hard hit after the miss by Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker.
If anybody's played well today defensively for Green Bay, it's been Aaron Campman.
Okay.
I mean, he's had opportunities, and he's done a good job. He's had some one-on-one opportunities against the offensive tackle, Fred Miller, over there, and he's made the most of it. interesting the way they play their DNs here in Green Bay. They do the same thing in Chicago. I mean, you look at guys that are 260 pounds, and you wouldn't think these guys survive out there on the end versus the run, but they play them a little extra wide, Sam. And the reason they do that is play them out wide. Look how wide his alignment is there. Offering that big boy to get out in his space.
3 wide receivers for the Bears. They run it with Thomas Jones, and a good tackle on the play by Cullen Jenkins. Stops him at the 31, and the Bears forced to punt for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly why they line Aaron Campman up wide. They get him out wide, and he can keep contained on that tackle, get that big tackle out in space to out-athletic him, and then fall back inside and get in on the tackle.
Brad Maynard earlier with a great 49-yard punt. Charles Woodson is deep for the Packers. They're hoping he will turn into a big return man for them. Good high kick by Maynard. Woodson at the 24. And he makes the turn. And here is a great return by Charles Woodson, who's knocked out of bounds. Inside Bears territory at the 48. 28-yard return after a 44-yard punt. That's what the Packers like. They're in plus territory, but they trail by a big number.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Sam, I think special teams-wise, the Bears on punt coverage are revolutionizing it. Look at Leon Joe right there. A linebacker as a gunner. I've never seen that in pro football. Had 3 guys on him, and he stoned every one of them.
Gotta love Leon Joe. 48-yard line. Packers start, and Favre goes for it all. Down for Ferguson. There was contact, and the ball falls incomplete.
Tell me how that's not pass interference.
Ferguson wants it, looks at the official, no call on the play.
How is that not pass interference? The ball was clearly in the air when Ferguson got pushed from the backside. Brett lets this go, and then Danielle Manning just runs right up his back.
Manning with the contact, and then he dropped the ball, which would have been
Todd Johnson lit him up for dropping the ball. His own guy.
3 wide receivers, both Franks in motion. Mon Green taking the inside handoff, and a nice gain for a first down to the 36-yard line. How do you think Amon Green has looked in this game?
I think he's looked pretty good. Now, despite the lack of production, there hasn't been a lot of running lanes there for Amon Green today. They've been playing from behind all day long, and you look at those numbers, that's pretty good stuff. And the question was coming in is, would he have that explosion? Would he have that burst back in his leg after tearing up a really severe injury, tearing up that quad with a quad tendon being ruptured last year? He's back. I mean, he rehabbed well, and he's got some snap in his step. You can see it.
Danielle Manning in the game has replaced the injured Chris Harris. As Chris Myers told you before, an ankle injury. Favre puts it up, and it's intercepted by the rookie Manning. Danielle Manning on the return slides down at the 20-yard line. Second pick for the Bears.
And that's Brett just trying to win. I mean, he's rolling to his right. One thing you never do is throw late across your body to the middle of the field to pick every time.
Back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, it's been a big day for the rivals of the Packers, the Chicago Bears. They've won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these 2 teams. There's the rookie A.J. Hawk, whose Ohio State Buckeyes defeated Texas last night.
Plays over.
Thomas Jones on the carry. Gets about 4 up to the 24-yard line.
Clearly, Sam, 2 teams that are in different spots in their growth period in terms of, trying to assemble a quality roster and go deep into the playoffs. Now, we're only week 1. But I think if you look at Lovie and look at this football team, they've dominated every phase. Offense, defense, special teams. All their rookies have come up big. It's really a quality performance across the board by the Bears today.
On 2nd and 6, the play fake, Grossman. And the pass caught by Desmond Clark. He's out of bounds up at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 11 on the play, and for Rex Grossman, now a career-high 259 yards passing.
What was your impression of him last night and talking to him?
I know you think he was a little nervous. I thought he had confidence.
Yeah.
I thought he was excited about being healthy coming into this season.
I asked him point blank about the Greasy stuff. I mean, what was your feeling when they signed Brian and paid him a lot of money to be a contingency plan? How do you let it roll off your back? Because I believe in myself, man. That's really all it comes down to.
The fullback Jason McKee gets a couple. Well, here's the type of day he's had. He's completed 17 passes. The big one for 49 yards, but he's hooked up with Muhsin Muhammad. Here's the touchdown pass to Bernard Berrien, but he's thrown him in all angles. He's found all different kinds of receivers. He's made Muhsin Muhammad happy, over 100 yards.
And now the Bears know why they paid Muhsin all that money last year to get him up here from Carolina.
His first 100-yard receiving game as a Chicago Bear.
The guy's a playmaker, and he'll force rolled coverage.
On second down, Grossman throwing short. McKee, the fullback, he's had a good role in today's game. He's wrapped up by Brady Papinga. Fourth catch of the game for Jason McKee.
I think this team's got some anger to him, really. I know, in talking to the guys and talking to Lovey, that the way that season ended against Carolina, how many times did Lovey say he watched that film and tried to self-reflect on his football team?
And what was also good, though, that after he understood what had happened, and he said his team may have been, they didn't handle success all that well.
Right.
The success of the regular season didn't carry it into the playoffs. But he said, the big picture, we took a big step forward. Now we have to take the next step and get to the Super Bowl.
Right, and last year he told us that, you know, winning a big game in a big spot is what they had to do, and they did it. And then didn't handle success, Sam, as you said, very well, and they were an early out in the playoffs, and I don't think they were very physically strong at the end of the year. That's where Rusty Jones and Clyde Emmerich and all the strength and conditioning comes into play, and I think Lovey's on that same program. He's down about 20, 25.
Absolutely. Fourth down for the Bears. Brad Maynard's third punt of the game. And back is Charles Woodson, who had a career-long 28-yard punt return on the last Maynard punt. This is a good long one. Woodson comes over near the sideline, takes it at the 10. And is pulled down by Leon Joe. There's your guy. Tomorrow night, after an all-new prison break, you enter a thrilling world of dark conspiracies and hidden power. The disappearance of a senator's wife is only the beginning. Vanish. All new tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, right here on Fox. There he is.
That linebacker Gunner. He's not losing contain this time, Sam. Squeeze in and get himself in on the tackle. You ever seen? I've never seen that. A linebacker as a flyer / gunner on the outside as a punt team. I'll tell you why he's out there is those guys can't handle his strength, and he's got enough speed. Once he gets by him, he can run away from him.
3 wide receivers as the Pack try to find a way to score. Favre throwing outside, incomplete. We talked to Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Packers, talking about the backup, Aaron Rodgers, the first-round pick last season. And is there a plan to get him in? And if a game is one-sided, would he put Rodgers in? He said he's going by feel because he doesn't know if it's worth it to put Aaron Rodgers in a game that's so one-sided. Does it benefit him to get him that playing time in a one-sided game?
Yeah.
And he feels that Brett Favre gives him the best chance to win. Of
Sam,
course,
would you want to come in against this Bears defense today?
Well, I will say this. They need to find out what Aaron Rodgers can do.
They do.
Nice run by Amon Green. That's a first down up at the 33-yard line.
And I think you'll probably find out if and when Green Bay gets their 8th loss on the season. I mean, pretty much when you get your 8th loss, whenever that comes, that's when Mike McCarthy and the folks here in Green Bay are going to be put in a tough position, whether to sit Brett Favre down and bring Aaron Rodgers in the game. You know, something that we haven't talked about. Brett's not too far away from a lot of Danny Marino's records
right
now.
He's at 396 touchdown passes. Marino's record is 420. Handoff inside, Amon Green again. And he spins up close to the 39-yard line. Lance Briggs and Wally Ogunleye combine on the tackle.
Now, there's one thing I may do if I am Mike McCarthy, and you want Amon Green to get as many reps as he can in game reps, but boy, I think I've seen all I need to see with him today as the head coach. He's got it back in his legs. I may keep him out of harm's way.
How about this number?
For the rest of the way here. Up over the C note for Amon Green.
19 carries, 101 yards. his 30th career 100-yard rushing game. Nice return for Ahman Green. And that ball almost intercepted by Ricky Manning Jr. as he made the dive. Now, we talked about the draft picks on defense, but they also brought in Dante Wesley and Ricky Manning Jr., 2 defensive backs from the Carolina Panthers.
Playmakers that can get it done back there in the secondary. That's what Lovey likes, is guys that if they get turnovers, they can turn them into points in a hurry. That's big for this football team. You know, Lovey will find one thing wrong with today with his defense. Ahman over 100. He'll preach that all the way home on that bus ride.
Ruvel Martin, number 82, in at wide receiver for the Packers. They go with 3 wides. Sam Congato never got started. Tommy Harris got him. You know, we talk about Reggie White. How about Reggie White and the connection to Tommy Harris?
Huge impact on Tommy Harris's life. This is one of the better young defensive linemen in pro football. A deeply religious guy, and he'll tell you right to your face. He'll talk about Reggie White all day long. Reggie has had a tremendous impact on the life of Tommy Harris as a young defensive lineman in the National Football League.
Reggie White's name up with the other Hall of Famers here on the wall in Lambeau. 6th punt of the game for John Ryan. Devin Hester backs up to the 12, looking for an opening, spinning, and he tripped up at the 14-yard line. Hester, who returned one for 84 yards for a touchdown in the game. You see Favre's numbers against the Bears. Last 3 games, no touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 138 passing attempts. Don't forget, when the game is over, we've got a lot of football coming your way. It's the OT. The guys are in Jacksonville. They'll bring you highlights, exclusive interviews. They'll look at next week's games coming up. Look at the big stories. It's presented by Lowe's. Stay tuned for the OT right after today's game. Cedric Benson taking it outside for the Bears, and he goes out of bounds up at the 15-yard line.
Reggie Bush, a nice little day today for the New Orleans Saints. And I'll tell you, I've been saying it a long time, and I'll continue to say it. Tactical error by the Houston Texans not picking him up number 1.
Well, we're going to see Houston. You and I will see them in week 3. That will certainly be something to talk about. Brian Urlacher. You know, we talked to all the players about the expectations, and he's another one who expects this team to be
Super Bowl, he told
in
us.
the Super Bowl.
Expect to be in Miami.
Benson, little cutback in the inside. Bears have been strong with the veterans, but their rookies have also contributed. Devin Hester on the punt return, 84-yard touchdown. Mark Anderson, the rookie defensive end out of Alabama, with a sack. And Danielle Manning, 2nd-round draft pick out of Abilene Christian. He was the first player they picked in the draft.
What's the common denominator with all 3 of those guys?
Speed?
Speed.
Yeah.
Big-time heat. Just seems like every year this league gets faster and faster and faster. And really with the trend going from passing game to set up the running game, it just makes sense to get all the speed on the field that you can.
Donald Driver, number 80, he's had a good game. There's the rookie Greg Jennings as they talk things over.
You think he realizes the difference now between preseason and the regular season?
Yes, sir.
27 a catch, led all NFL receivers in the preseason, and pretty much shut out today by this Bears D.
On 3rd down, Benson gets up to the 23-yard line. The Bears will be forced to punt. Packers wanted to get the ball back one more time to get a chance to score. They've gone 233 games without being shut out. The Bears,
233 games. So that's telling me that out of Brett Favre's 222 starts, he's got points on the board every game.
That's right. Except this one. Charles Woodson is deep for Brad Maynard's 4th punt of the game. Packers almost got it. Maynard gets it away. It rolls, and Woodson will let it roll to a stop. There's a flag now, and they may have got the punter.
Gatto did. It looked like Gatto. Is that Gatto or Nick Collins?
Defense number 36.
Nick Collins,
yeah.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And laid out to try to get the punt off of Robbie Gould's foot, and just came back underneath, or out of Maynard's foot, and came back underneath and got his plant leg. Watch this. Trying to lay out to get it, right through the plant leg. They'll call that every time. That's a 15-yarder.
Nick Collins called for the penalty. The Bears retain possession and have the ball at the 38-yard line.
I told you at the open, Mike McCarthy was going to have his work cut out for him. 28 new faces on this roster, and couple that with a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, new head coach. This is the first shot for all of these guys.
Benson runs into a wall, bounces off. It's a tough couple of yards. Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, has been active, making the stops. Don't forget, the OT presented by Lowe's. The post-game show is coming up to get you caught up on all the games, highlights, and a whole lot more. 2-minute warning.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Nick Barnett's played a hard game, hasn't
He has. I mentioned Aaron Campman earlier, the defensive end. Nick Barnett has played well. He really has. Been all over the place, had a bunch of tackles. And he hasn't given up, that's for sure. Focus on him. He'll still run and try to get that guy pounded.
Benson. Brady Papinga in on the tackle up at the 43-yard line. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are standing by in Jacksonville. When this game is over, we will send you there to the conclusion of that game.
Look at
Jacksonville, after being down 10-0, now leading 24-10. And don't forget the OT presented by Lowe's with the boys. Joe will be there, Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, scores and highlights, Fox Sports ticker, interviews. Right here, the Bears. They'll open at home next week against the Detroit Lions, who lost today 9-6 to Seattle. Here's Benson. Can't get outside. Packers stretch him out and take him down. Good effort by Marquand Manuel, number 22. And the Packers will be home to take a look at Reggie Bush and the New Orleans Saints.
That's right.
With Drew Brees at quarterback.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at these Chicago Bears, they're going to start this season. One division game today. They're going to come out of the box with 3 division opponents for the first 3 weeks. If they can get through this, get through the one into Detroit next week, and we start out 3-0 if they can now in the division, then they don't meet the rest of the division until December. They're off and running.
Grossman and John Tate, the big tackle. Boy, you think his teammates loved it?
Got to be happy for Rex Grossman.
Sending out some love to his offensive line. They did a good job protecting him. Woodson goes over to the sideline, takes it at the 11, and gets shoved out of bounds by Ian Badejo. Final seconds of this game, and unless there is one long bomb left for a score, it'll be the first time Brett Favre has been shut out in his NFL career, and the first time the Pack has been shut out since October 1991, October 17th, when the Bears shut them out here in Green Bay.
A lot of work to do for this Green Bay offense, but so much credit. I mean, this is the #1 group defensively in points allowed last year, and they've just gotten better. That's clear.
From the 15, quick outside, Greg Jennings with his first NFL reception is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So the youngster looks to have a good, bright future ahead of him with the catch. Lovie Smith.
Look at that.
Yep, 3 straight at Lambeau, and he'll go 4-1 against the Green Bay Packers. And a good start to the season for the Chicago Bears. Ahman Green carrying one more time.
Still carrying.
Keep going. Did not quit. I don't know if he should be in the game that's this one-sided, but nevertheless, he makes the final carry of the game. And the Chicago Bears open up the season with a 26-0 shutout over their rivals, the Green Bay Packers. The 4th longest scoring streak in NFL history comes to an end. The Packers are stopped after 233 straight. The Bears are on their way. They lead. They win it 26-0.